chance.
Hello. Welcome to Shorter Tea Tuesdays. Your girl is back. Oh my God. Do I look refreshed? Probably not. Not at all, right? Or even do I sound refreshed? Probably not. You guys know how I do it. So anyway, welcome to Shorter Tea Tuesdays. We have a special guest today. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and let you know about this resource that is happening in Oklahoma City. It's a really big one, a really big one. If you haven't heard about it, I mean, I don't know why you haven't heard about it, but who knows? But long time ago, I mean, this has been going on for over a decade, that there are looking for something new developments and growth on the east side of Oklahoma City, and they have a community transformation that is coming to you. The Willa D, can you see that? I hope you can. The Willa D. Johnson Recreational Center. The grand opening is this Saturday, July 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please make sure you come to this address, 909 Frederick Douglass Avenue in Oklahoma City. They are going to have lots of things for you to come and tour the events, also tour the center. I mean, can you imagine how many millions of dollars this costs? We won't even talk about that, but it's the point that it's serving our communities, and there'll be lots of things for you to come. Share the Tea will be in the house, so just come on out on Saturday, July 15th, between 10 and 2 p.m. All right, that's enough about that. Now let's bring into our special guest. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. All right, let's bring him in. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, how are yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Now let me introduce everyone. Let's introduce you to everyone. This is Mr. and Mrs. Travis and Brittany Perry with the Dream. Well, I'm about to mess it up. The Dream Big Foundation. Did I do it?
Yes, ma'am. There we
All
go.
right. Woo! Yes. Now, where are you guys from? Where are you located?
We are located in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Okay, that's a nice area. I don't think I've been to Savannah, Georgia. I'm not. Is that close to Atlanta?
About 4 hours away from
A little
Atlanta.
bit.
Oh, okay. So I haven't really been to it. Okay, gotcha. So I need to make a trip. I will do that. I'll add that to my list. But thank you so much for coming on Share the Tea Tuesdays. I just want to let the people know that, because they always wonder, like, how do you find these people? Well, I'm always on social media and something pops up. But I saw your commercial for one of your events that you were having and encouraging people to come out and support. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And that's how I discovered them. So I tend to stalk people just a little bit, but it's a good stalk, just to get to know who they are and get to learn more about their organization. So are you guys native of Georgia?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay. All right. Got the southern hospitality there. So tell me, how long have you guys been in business with the Dream Big Foundation?
So the Dream Big Foundation, actually, we started in 2021, December of 2021. Kind of the peak of the pandemic type of ordeal. We started back then, and then since then we've just been working through the foundation and growing in the community in Savannah.
Okay. Okay. So did this idea come to you in the midst of quarantining?
Actually, no, our background, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background, Ms. V.
Yeah.
We are teachers, and so we are educators, right, in Savannah, Georgia, at a local elementary school. We both are elementary school teachers, and so we have a background with working with children. His is more so special education. Mine is general education as well as special education. So we work with a wide variety of children. And so originally we kind of formed, my husband is a children's book author.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
We'll get on that later. Sorry. Go ahead.
My husband is a children's book author, and some of his first books that we started working on, he would write the books, and then I would create a curriculum card that went with it. His books focused on just speaking life into children, teaching them the importance of speaking positivity into themselves, into each other, around them, the importance of affirmations and things of that sort. And so that was one way that we started to just kind of invest into, pour into our children in the community. But Ms. B, we wanted to do more, and we wanted to be able to make a bigger impact. And so that's how the Dream Big Foundation actually came upon. Starting there and wanting to grow and be more impactful. We started the Dream Big Foundation. And so since then, we've just been pushing and just motivating children, families in our communities to go after their dreams, to dream big, and that they really can do whatever that they put their mind to. It's not just a saying. They can set those short-term goals, reach those goals, which lead to longer-term goals, and ultimately, here's some success going on. And so just empowering the families in the community, our local community, but starting with the children. So that's kind of how we got started.
Oh, I love that. So you are educators. Now, how long have you guys been teaching?
Well,
For a while.
this upcoming year will be my 8th year.
8 year, okay.
And I'll be teaching in the public school system for 5 years this year. But before then, I taught in private schools and childcare facilities. And so it's been a long time since we've been in the education field, just working with children. So it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Well, I felt it'd been a minute because you were like, well, how many
I'm like, how long has it been? Since I can remember.
Right. So what grades do you teach? I know you said Travis is with special education. So do you have a particular?
So this past year, I actually taught 5th grade. I taught 5th grade. Well, this year, I'll be going back into my role as a behavior interventionist. So that's what I'll be doing this year. And that's what I did previous. And then I was a SPED teacher before that.
Okay. Definitely have to work on the behavior part. That's a whole nother conversation there.
Yeah.
And what about you, Miss Brittany?
Last year I worked with 4th and 5th grade. I touched in the reading intervention area last year. Prior to that, I was with the babies, so I was working with 1st graders for 4 years before then.
Oh, wow.
Younger before then. So yes, ma'am, it was a jump this year.
Right. A big jump.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, the children that you were teaching, well, with the little ones, you're going to see them in the 4th grade, hopefully.
4th and 5th grade, yes.
Right. Oh my goodness. So, do you guys have a foundation in education, like as far as were your parents or guardians or grandparents, were they educators as well? Where did this? I mean, because it's unique that you find a couple who are a powerhouse in education, both teachers and everything.
Well, my mom she does have a background of teaching.
Okay.
She is a doctor, though. She didn't stick with it. But she did have a background of teaching. She had a little pre-K school and did that for a little while way back when. My sister is actually a educator as well right now.
Okay.
But no, I don't think it was like a family tradition to be teachers. I think it's just kind of how the cards go. I say ever since I can remember, because my brother and sister are older than me, so they had children. So I was a babysitter, so I always had my nieces and nephews. So I kind of grew to love caring for kids. So and that led me into becoming an educator.
Okay.
I think neither one of my parents were educators, and my sisters aren't. But for me, it just always have been a passion that I've known since a little girl that I wanted to work with kids. When I was, I want to say 12, asked to volunteer at the children's church at my church, and I just kind of knew that was the field that I was going to go in. I knew what school I wanted to go to, what field I wanted, which degree I wanted.
Oh, wow.
So I just knew that this was for me since a little girl.
Okay. I like that. Very, very determined. I like that. Now, you mentioned just a little bit that Mr. Travis, you're an author. So you write children books?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I write children's books. I started that actually. I think I started writing back in maybe 2018. But I published my first book in 2019, 2020. And that book was I Am. And like she kind of said earlier, I just wrote that kind of to teach kids about the I Am statements,
Mhm.
encourage them to speak positivity to themselves, not only to themselves, but to others. Just the power of that I Am statement, the power of the tongue. So that was kind of my first book that I wrote. After that, I wrote another one, Imagine That. And that was just encouraging kids to continue to use their imagination. Because I know nowadays it's kind of all digital technology, everything, and the kids kind of get away from, how we grew up with being outside all day or just putting the
Mhm.
phones down for a second and just, being creative. So that was my reason behind that one. And I just released two more, Tristan for President, and that one's just teaching kids that golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And then what is it? The fear of the spelling bee, and that just keep going, dream big, never give up on your on your dreams. So
Oh wow. You said fear of the spelling bee.
yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's a good. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little secret that many people don't know. But so um I love to read, right? And so I was in the spelling bee. I can't even remember what grade. It had to be maybe second or third grade. But anyways, I lost by one word. And can you guess what that word was?
Affirmations.
No.
Oh.
What?
It was friend. Because I mixed the I had the I and the E backwards. Oh my God. I never forget that. And I was like, ah. So and that was just something that just kind of stuck with me. But I'm happy that you mentioned that because when you lose, it takes a big part of you. Like
Yeah.
and you feel like you can't do it again. But hey, I encourage you. Ever since then, I know how to spell friend forward
Yeah.
and backwards. Okay.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I love the concepts of your books. And then Mrs. Brittany, you come in and you make a curriculum for every
Yeah.
book that he writes. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. I create a curriculum card. I think it's just the teacher in me.
Mm,
I always tell him when I was teaching first grade and we would have circle, our story time or read alouds. I always wanted to refer back to a curriculum card or ask questions about the book or to something to re-engage my learners, or if I want to refer back to a page to ask them extension question or
mhm.
a remediation question, I can go right back to my curriculum card and just pick it up. And so that was just a little token or ticket for my teacher friends. If they purchase this book, they can implement it in their classrooms, and it has the standards, the Georgia standards on them that relates with and correlates with the story, vocabulary words, and the vocabulary list on that card. And it's just a one front and back card to, like
Okay.
I said, just to enhance the activity or the lesson behind whatever book the teacher chose to read in the classroom that day.
Okay. Okay. Well, I love that. So I have to remind myself to make sure we figure out where we can. I mean, you can tell us
Yes,
where we can
I
purchase
will.
those books. Yes. So we
Yeah.
can definitely support because listen, reading is fundamental. I mean, you can't get far if you don't know how to read.
Yeah.
So that's a really big thing. So Dream Big Foundation started back in late 2021.
Yes.
What was a challenge for you to get this started?
Can you
Um,
think of one?
I I would have to say the biggest challenge was just probably getting started.
Mm,
Just not the fear of not knowing what to do, not knowing where to start.
just being new.
Yeah, just being new. But yeah, I think it was just getting started, and I think that's pretty much what everything. When it came to being an author, opening a business, I think the fear of not knowing what I'm getting myself into. But once you just get into it, it just seems like even though it may be difficulties throughout the way, it just seems like everything's just flowing like it's supposed to. So
I like that. I like that.
I
Did
think. I'm
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say, I think just to piggyback off of what Travis was saying, getting started was challenging, but I think once we kind of stepped in it, um, our group of people, our circle of networking friends have grown. A lot of people have joined and are willing to teach and help. And so I think that has been helpful in just this journey of starting something new, wanting to be impactful, wanting to be purposeful and intentional while moving forward, but still just kind of unsure and uncertain in, where might we get this resource to implement this intervention or to implement this incentive into the school, or who are we going to call to get money to do this. So those were the some of the barriers that we kind of touched. But like Trevor said, we just been things have been kind of falling into place as we've been just walking through it and learning.
Okay. And I don't know if you guys heard those two eyes that she mentioned, because that's part of my segment that I always mention is to be intentional, and to be impactful. If you're not being impactful, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? You have to be impactful in whatever that you're doing. Hopefully it's something good. That's what we're striving for. So kudos to you guys. I'm so beyond excited to have this conversation with you, because I feel that sometimes we feel challenged when we're starting a new business or a new idea or just starting something new, and we're not for sure if we should step out or if we should just wait. And I'm happy that you took the push to go ahead and move forward. Don't be afraid. Step on out there. And I'm hearing a lot of faith terms. So I don't want to make any assumptions, but I'm hearing those. And that's good that you guys have that support. So tell me about the mission of your organization. What is your mission?
So our mission is to invest our time, our resources, our passion into the families in our local community, starting with the children, just teaching them to have a mirror perspective where they can see themselves actually reaching major goals and accomplishment, ultimately helping them to be successful and go after their dreams with confidence that is necessary to be successful. So our mission is to just, like I said, teach children and our purpose is to teach children and families that you really can do whatever you set your mind to. It's important to dream big and to actually step out and try to go after those dreams. And so, like I said, we just do different things in our community to help break some of those barriers that may be blocking some of those steps to those dreams, or just how to empower the families in our community with resources or teaching them skills to help them go after those dreams. And so, yes, ma'am, that's what we.
Now, elaborate a little bit more on this mirror perspective, just in case someone may not know exactly what you're referring to.
So when you look in the mirror, you can see yourself. Of course, when you see yourself, we want kids before it even happens, they can see themselves actually being successful. Like they can see themselves passing the test. They can see themselves scoring what they need on the SAT. They can see themselves actually getting into college and passing those entrance exams. They have to be able to actually believe that they can do it in order for them to step out and do it. So our organization encourages them to believe in yourself. It has to start here. If you believe that you can do it, then you really can do it. So let's start to step out and walk in what you want to do.
And that just goes to that whole power of the tongue message, not, speaking it into existence. And prepare for what you say you want. And that's just what our whole organization is based off of. Just preparing you for those goals that you that you came up with and create and set yourself. We're just here to help you get there.
So what is the youngest child that you work with, or is there not an age limit?
Thus far, I want to say the youngest, and I think of the bookmark breakfast when you say the youngest child that we've worked with. Our age ranges are varied. We do teach in elementary school, but we reach and interact with children across the age span. At our bookmark breakfast, which was a literacy event to promote just reading fluency in the home, we had families come out, and some of the children were babies. We had, parents who read to their taller children as they ate breakfast, and read out loud to them. So we interact with children across all age ranges, um, whenever they, you know, come into contact with us. We're interacting with all types of children.
Okay. And I think it's important to start very young with the children with reading, so even though you may feel like, well, they're just a baby, they're not really paying attention, you will be surprised. They are paying attention.
Yes, ma'am.
They are definitely paying attention. So tell me a little bit about that bookmark. Did you say bookmark breakfast?
Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
that was one of the initiatives that we decided to launch. This was actually the first one that we did. So we decided to host a literacy event to where we invite families out to just come read with their kids and have some breakfast. Because, again, like we said, we kind of want to be that person that helps you take away those excuses. So if you say, hey, I want to read
Mm,
with my kids, but I don't have any books at home. Okay, well, we got plenty of books for you. Come on out. Or oh, maybe let's we want something to eat. Okay, we got breakfast for y'all too. Come on, get you something to eat. Come have some books. Let's read.
mhm.
So that's what we did. We actually had Chick-fil-A host a breakfast for us, so they donated the
Awesome.
biscuits, and we had some families come out, and they were just able to sit down at the table with their kids and just be able to read. We had a guest author, which was myself. I was able to share my book, read one of my books there to the audience as well. And that's just an initiative that we plan to do once every month at the school. We'll probably do it before school, so that gives parents the opportunity to come in before school with their kids, have breakfast, read with them, sit in the class, and they can go to work. Just
Mm.
real short and sweet. Just again, like we said, to connect those families and the kids, and also still promote reading because, like we said, that's key. That's important. Without reading, it's not really much we can do.
I like that. Now, for the bookmark and breakfast, the breakfast doesn't cost anything, so all they got to do is just show up with their
So
child or
It's-
children.
And so, like Trevor said, we try to kind of help break some of those barriers or excuses. So if the
Right.
excuse is, I don't know how to read, well, when you come, we'll give you a couple resources and a couple different ways that we teach our children how to read. Or I don't have a book, okay, come and we'll come help break some of those barriers. But the breakfast is free. The books are free to read and read with children, and you can put them back.
Okay.
The drinks are free. Everything is free because the point of it is for you to come out, to empower your family, to give you guys resources and encourage you guys, not so you can just see the greatness of reading together, but that bonding piece. I don't think sometimes as parents we recognize or realize how much our children love that small interaction, that
Right.
one-on-one time. And sometimes as parents we get so busy in our everyday, just lives that we may not give them that little one-on-one time or that 5 minutes of reading that they need. And so,
Hmm.
or if you're a parent that like to go out and do things, okay, come out and read with your child. So like we said, we try to help break some of those barriers or curb some of those excuses. So we do different events and initiatives and try to offer it for free or or close to nothing.
Close
If
to nothing. Yes. And I like that how you said no excuses. There shouldn't be not one excuse for that
yeah,
you can't come and bring your child to get this once, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but an experience that will last a lifetime, and just help them overall. I think that speaks volumes because at times I'm going to say we as a people, we tend to make excuses of why we can't do this and why we can't do that, and then we get upset when our children are not successful in class, or we get upset with the teachers. Do you ever do a collaboration with, I know you're already in a school system yourself, but do you ever do a collaboration with a teacher or that's at a different building that can maybe benefit from your program? So
the
for instance, like, so if, well, let's say one of the other educators of, I'm gonna say third grade teacher at a different school, knows that a child is having issues with reading, do they ever try to bridge in your organization with the school system as well to get more support, or
So
is that
thus far, we haven't had that interaction as of yet. Growing,
okay?
I think with us being a newer organization in the community, we are starting to be able to grow our organization and
Okay.
offer our surrounding community our different resources and things and support if they need it. And so that's why we even this year just have chosen to step out on faith and even come on, podcasts and different things to kind of spread the word of what we're trying to do to help, be impactful in our community.
Okay.
So
Yes. Well, I get. Well, maybe I'm speaking it into existence. I don't
it's
know, but but hopefully it's coming because I think, as you probably heard that term before. It takes a village, right? And so I think it would be useful for us to use this organization to our benefit. If we're having some issues with someone that's not reading, especially if they're not reading on grade level, how can we kind of help them? Because it doesn't just happen at school, but it also happens at home.
Mhm.
Do you guys find, well, of course you do find it, but have you guys noticed that there is a big challenge with children reading at home, even though
Uh,
they have the books available?
Definitely.
Mhm.
I think that's a huge challenge that we see now. In the mix, also just thinking about now, you got to remember in the last maybe 3 years, those kids were home because of COVID. So those were two pivotal years that I think that was now just our fifth graders that are now just going to sixth grade were in what second and third
Mhm.
grade, which
Oh
was
yeah.
two key years when you're talking about reading. So with that and the fact that we don't have the support that we should have from home all the time, yeah,
That's
it's
another
been
reason
a
why.
big challenge these last.
Mm,
Which is
yeah.
another reason why we offered the bookmark breakfast and
Exactly.
decided that that's something that we can consistently do throughout the school year and hopefully start to adopt it at multiple schools where we can do the bookmark breakfast right before school, something where the parents can come in and merge with the school to show that support as well. If I noticed that when my students, and I always say my kids because my students are my kids, but
Right.
my kids or my students see me interact with their parents, or when they know that me and their parents are a village, then that helps with so many things academically in the school, in the classroom all together as well. They see that we're a village, so I don't have behavior issues because they know that me and mom talk. Or they,
Mm,
they see that me and dad, sat by each other while we were reading, while we were reading at the bookmark breakfast. So they see that interaction between their parents and their teachers and their educators, and so we become that village. And so that's what our foundation is trying to do as well, just help build those villages because we know how important that is. It does take a village, literally, when it comes to raising our kids.
definitely, it does. And I don't know if you guys saw the news segment. It may have been last week or week before last, where they were talking about the reading and math levels um, in elementary is, and even middle school is way below the line. And of course, they are blaming it on the pandemic. And I think when I saw that segment, it just kind of made me think like, well, does that mean that we as a nation, like we're failing in trying to provide the education that we need to do for our children? Um, so that was my first question. Like, are we failing? And then secondly, like, what are we doing besides pushing technology in front of them?
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that face. She was like, girl. And so that just made me question because if you said the fourth graders, right? So if they're just not in the fourth grade, they were how old when COVID came around? Maybe
Probably
Going to
grade,
the
kindergarten,
first and
first grade.
kindergarten, and those
kindergarten, first grade.
K through two, you're learning to read. Third to fifth, you're reading to learn. So those are the years where you get those, phonemic awareness and that development and those fluency and all of those pivotal skills that you need to know how to read. So we have been seeing those kids struggle,
Yeah.
especially if our parents haven't been able to work with us at home like we would have liked to. And I say that like we would have liked to because if we're being honest, all parents during COVID weren't able to stay at home and be with their kids and work with
Right.
them all day during school. But nonetheless, like I said, that's what we, are here for, to try to empower those
Mhm.
those communities and just our communities here.
Right. And I also feel like it took a discipline that I'm gonna say we. And when I say we, I mean like the whole society. It takes a discipline for you to get in front of a computer and be able to focus on just your reading or your science or your math or whatever, or even not to mention when you're trying to teach the kids and there's different things, or you see Jim doing something over here in the corner and you see, it takes it's hard for a child to focus. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just even speaking from myself because I can get on here and then I'm like, oh, I forgot about what's the name, and I didn't. And so I'm speaking even from myself, but it really does take a discipline for children to even have that mindset to do what they need to do in front of a electronic device without being distracted. So I do applaud the teachers because even going from a hands-on and onto a device setting, it's I know it was different, and your teaching style had to change. Everything had to change. And you can't reach out and say, hey, stop doing that, or listen, I applaud you guys. You made it through, you survived it, Lord have mercy, thank goodness. But I know our children suffered in the long run, and so I'm hoping that as we continue to get back acclimated to society and being out and doing these things, that we will pick up the pace a little bit
Yeah.
and not just still be in that corner where we're to ourselves, is what I'm hoping for. So with the bookmark breakfast, or breakfast bookmark, I may have said it backwards.
You said
Okay. What other events are you having that's coming up in Savannah?
Well, the next event that we're actually promoting for right now is our back to school event. This will actually be our third annual back to school event. It's something we started the first year we started our foundation. We started a back to
Wow.
school event. That was something that even before I had the foundation, I would always tell her, like, I just wanna. That's something that I just gotta do. Just with being in the school system, being teachers, you see those kids that come to school that first week of school and still sometimes don't have everything they need.
Mhm.
So just being able to trying to help that problem out a little bit by having a back to school event so that as many kids as possible can have everything they need at least the first 9 weeks of school. So we're getting ready for our third annual back to school event. We'll be giving away over 1,000 book bags this year filled with
Wow.
supplies. We'll have food trucks, vendors, will
bounce
be bounce
houses,
houses. Yeah.
just a whole family fun day that we'll be having and giving out free book bags, school supplies. We'll have a local mobile unit there to do health screening and EEDs for the school for children for back to school if those are needed. Um, but it'll be just a fun day of people can come out, bring their family. They have to have their kids there. But we'll have free food. There'll be food trucks. There'll be vendors. There'll be a whole little entertainment area, play area for the children to have fun. So we encourage everyone to come out. It's going to be on July the 30th at the In Market Arena from 1 to 4 p.m. in Savannah.
Mhm.
So we encourage everyone to come out. Like Travis said, every child in attendance who is in need of a book bag with school supplies will get one. No questions asked, no background or anything of that sort, they'll get one, and they'll be encouraged to have a successful school year. And so,
And when does school start?
Here it begins August 3rd, I believe, for our
Oh
students. Yeah.
goodness. You guys are early too. I thought it was just good old Oklahoma being difficult, but I guess not.
it's Savannah too and surrounding areas.
Okay. Okay, so August 3rd. So back to school events. You said July 30th.
July 30th, yes, ma'am.
And
One
what's the
at
one
the In Market Arena.
okay. Okay, so just come out and support. Of course, I know you're taking donations.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone wants to donate or to give to the cause, that is definitely remarkable. 1,000 backpacks with school supplies. Listen, listen. If I was in Savannah, I would come. So I need for you guys to make sure you go out and support. Is the flyer already out on your social media?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Okay. I will definitely make sure I pull it and go from there so we can get the support and hopefully sponsors. Are you taking sponsors to
We are, so they can go on our foundation website page. That's dreambigfoundationinc.org. And on there they can donate monetarily. On there they'll also see a wish list where they can give school supplies. So we try to make it a little bit easier for people to donate. This year they can go on, click on the registry, purchase whatever school supplies that they want to donate, and it'll come straight to us. So they don't even have to go out to the stores to shop. If they don't have time to shop online, they can just go and give and donate monetarily as well. So all of that is right on the foundation page. Or
I was gonna say you can also, if somebody wanted to give, they can also text Dream Big to 53555. That's another way, just in case somebody wanted to donate as well.
Oh, okay. You guys are fancy. You even got a text number. Okay. So say that number one more time in case I was before I mess it up. Text say that number one more time if
Yes,
they
man.
want.
You text Dream Big to 53555.
Okay. All right. So you can give any way that you feel fit. I love that. Well, you guys are doing an amazing job. Kudos to you coming up with this idea, this vision, and now it's in fruition and it's doing what it needs to do. And you are making an impact in the community and definitely in the children's lives because it you may not feel like you're making a difference, but you really are. And I think the parents even know that you're making a difference because I know it can be difficult being a parent if you have multiple children. And so they should definitely reach out to you guys and use this resource because this is a resource. Also, a nonprofit organization, the whole 9 yards, but support them. They did mention the website earlier, dreambigfoundationinc.org. I believe on your page it says where dreams and reality meet. Ha,
Man.
ding ding. I like that. Now, are you guys on social media?
Yes, man. We are on Facebook. Our Facebook is Dream Big Foundation SAV. And we're on Instagram at _Dream Big Foundation.
Okay, so they can find you everywhere. And then if they even not on social media, you can text to that number and just donate that way. Or you
Yes,
can sign up for like you have a is it newsletter or how you
ma'am.
sign up for a
On
message?
the website. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So they can sign. So I'm reaching out to everyone. There's no excuses because sometimes you run into people say, "Oh, I don't do social media." Okay, well that's fine. You can you can still support by going to their website and giving that way, or even volunteering that way. So I love that. I love that. So what is your? I know this. We're in the middle of the of 2023. But what is your ultimate goal for the rest of this year? Have you thought about what that ultimate goal would look like? I mean, by the time December 31st come here, what do you hope to have achieved by then?
As far as the foundation, I would just say my goal would just be just to continue to be able to serve people and children in our community. That's it. Long as we're serving, I feel like we're doing what's supposed to be doing.
I love that. I think your wife agrees. She's looking like,
That's I think that would be the pretty much the same. Some things that and initiatives that we really want to launch this upcoming year. Just continuing moving forward and pushing forward with launching those and just being impactful and effective. And as long as we, like Travis said, are serving and are a resource, then I'm happy with it.
okay. I love that. Now remind me, where can they get your books? Is that on the website? Or
It
It's
is
actually a
not.
link.
It's a yeah. It's going. It should be a link on the website, but if not, you can go to bigdreambooks.com and all of my books are on there. It's also on Amazon. If you just search Travis Perry on Amazon, all of them should come up as well. Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
okay. Barnes and Nobles. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna have to go back in Barnes and Noble just because I haven't been in there for several years. Okay, well that's good. That's good. So dream, but hold on, I'm about to mess it up. Say it again for me.
Big Dream Books.
Big Dream Books. Okay. Big
Um,
Dream Books. Okay. I'm gonna remember that. All
Well,
right. So we can go and order the books from there, and then also it'll include the curriculum that his wife has made.
yes.
We definitely need to support. Now, I have a question for you. Have
Okay.
you heard of, and I'm always messing it up because you can tell my memory is not so savvy all the time. Black children books. Hold on. There it is. Yes, Black Children Book Week. Have you heard of that?
Where is
I
that
feel like you
located?
have.
It's on, mainly I see it on social media. She's a founder and she made National Black Children Book Week, and it's always the last week of February going into March.
Yes. Where is it?
Oh,
But
now you would ask me. I'm not for sure where she's from.
Because I
so
think
where's
we're
she
talking
from?
about driving there. I do remember hearing about that before. I can't remember
I
where
think
it
she's
is.
coming
Okay.
to an event too or something like
Hmm.
that for that week. That's how
Yeah.
it
Oh,
is.
Because
okay.
we were looking at possibly getting a vendor spot
At one of
at
the
one of
events.
the events.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you make that connection. Because I'm anytime I'm talking to authors, I'm always bringing this up, especially if it's a children's book. And so I'm in the process of having one here in Oklahoma. And so
Okay.
if you're not too swamped on that week, we're gonna try to do like a virtual part for you on one of those days. Because Grace and I, and shout out to Grace, I'm shouting her out. She's one of those other authors, children's authors as well. And so we're working on planning this for Oklahoma City because Oklahoma needs it. Okay. I don't even know how else to say that, but we need it. And so I want to make sure that we do that and include different authors that are here locally or wherever that they may be. So, yes.
Hmm.
So yeah, so make sure so look her up on Instagram.
Okay.
Yes, and because I think that would be nice to include that within your curriculum some kind of way, or even just tag on with her. But I'm gonna definitely reach out to you again. So I hope you don't think this will be the first and the last time you will hear from me because it will not.
Yes.
Well, yes, ma'am. We
Okay.
appreciate you for having us, Miss V.
Oh yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. You guys are such a gem to speak to, and I'm not for sure of your age, but I just want to say you guys are young at heart, and I love, I love, okay, I love your spirit and your energy, and I know that everything that you do and everything that you touch is going to be a blessing. And so
Amen.
kudos to you, and I appreciate you guys coming on Strategy Tuesdays. I really do. It has been fun. It really has. So you guys, everyone that's listening or tuning in or watching on social media, wherever that you may be, please make sure you go and follow this nonprofit organization that is doing amazing things in Savannah, Georgia. Even though if you're in another state, you can still support. It doesn't matter. All children needs our help, and we are the village that can help them. And so you really need to support the Dream Big Foundation. Also support their website. Then go and order some books from Dream Big Books. Did I do it right?
Big dream
Big,
books.
big dream books. It's okay,
Big
Missy.
Dream Books. Big Dream Books. I'm messing it all up today. Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, but make sure you guys go out and support. I'm gonna make sure I put the information on there, so the link, so that way you'll know where to go, and you can follow them. So if I don't have anything else, I want you to tell me one. It can come from either one of you or together, however. Tell me something empowering that you would want to say to a child, um, at any age.
You can do it. Like, you really can. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
Okay. I
Yeah,
like that.
I think my message would be just before anybody else will believe in you, you have to believe in you. I think that's just big. You have to believe in you first.
Mm, I like that. You have to believe in you, and you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Okay, let me not get emotional, because one thing that comes to mind. Sometimes I interact with people that have been told negative things all their lives.
Mhm.
They've been told they can't do this, you'll never amount to this, you'll never. And the power of other people's words can influence how our mindset controls our destiny. And so if I'm always thinking negative, then I'm always feel like I'll never amount to anything. And so just changing that, just what you said, you can do it. And it's all in your mindset. We have to be able to change the narrative of our negative thing. We have enough negative things going on in the world. I know you guys see it all the time, from social media to the news and everything else. So it's good to hear some good things. So you have to empower yourself, encourage yourself, and always, like I say with my three eyes, to be intentional, be insightful, and definitely be impactful in everything that you do. So thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Perry, for coming out and joining on Share the Tea Tuesdays. It has been fabulous. And I
Yeah.
appreciate I appreciate you guys coming. Everyone that follows me, don't forget to, or my new followers, don't forget to follow me on Shredity with V on all social media channels. You can see it in the back. I'm on everything except for Snap of the chat. I'm not doing that. But if you're on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow me on there. And until then, just be a blessing. And thank you again, guys. Until then, ta ta.